Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, 4:25 p.m., coming to you now from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. State of the market, we're still in an uptrend. When we look at the trend gauge, we have four green up arrows. Market leaders acting well. Short term above the 21 EMA, medium term above the 50-day SMA, and long term above the 200-day SMA. What that means is we're operating under the mandate of GROTECTION to grow assets. So what happened today? Range bound market. S&P is building a bull flag. The Qs are still in a multi-month base. Mid cap, small caps are still back into its stage one base and continues to need to build its right side. So we gapped down today and saw a strong close. So that continues to be healthy action. 21 over 21 list today was down 0.38%, 9 up, 5 sideways, 7 down, big 8 up 0.31%. And that was what was holding up the markets. We'll look at my trading view Mag 7 composite later. RG8 down 0.66%, S&P down 0.05%, essentially flat. RSP down 0.45%, Qs up 0.12%, QQEW down 0.28%, and that disparity also signifies the mega cap holding up the markets today. The Dow up 0.15%, mid caps down 0.58%, and small caps down 0.29%. And then the global 60/40 equities bonds down 0.13%. And GROTECTION essentially was flat today, down 0.05%, like the S&P 500. So as always, let's jump right into the S&P 500. We saw a gap down today, undercut and reclaim yesterday's lows of 58.24, putting it low at 58.21. Also undercut the 8 EMA and reclaimed that as well. So what happened was, let's go on a 5-minute. We gapped down. That essentially put in the lows of the day, trended higher to the highs of the day, and then based into the close. RSP is a bit weaker, back to the 21 EMA, and that has held so far. So this is where we really need to see some support come in, and the trend is still on right now. The Qs continue to build out the right side of this multi-month base. You can see some VCP characteristics here. We broke out and we're just going sideways here. This 500 level will be key. And if we do break out of that, whether that's a catalyst on earnings or some other exogenous news or event, that should add even more momentum in the markets. QQEW broke out into new all-time highs, but so far has come in a little bit, retesting this previous breakout level, now turned support, also found support at the 21 EMA. Dow Jones Industrial Average closed below the 8 EMA yesterday, undercut those lows, reclaimed those lows, but still closed below the 8 EMA. Still really strong though. There's really nothing acting wrong here. Mid caps and small caps with long-term rates heading higher. This so far is a back test of the breakout level, but if we continue further in, that could almost be classified as a filled breakout. So we'll have to see how this action unfolds. RS line still declining as well. Same thing in the Russell. Didn't even break out yet above this 2,300 level. We just might need more sideways action before staging a breakout. Found support at the 21 EMA, which is a good sign. This is still acting normal. That level right there is key. The VIX, we love to see that VIX come back below 20. Now we really want to see it get below the 200-day, back below 15, and that could present an easy dollar trending low volatility environment. The dollar, with rates heading higher, the dollar has made a huge move, almost all days up with just a few days of rest in between. Back above the 200, now firmly above the 200, making higher highs above yesterday's highs. And so far, it's not presenting a headwind, but we'll have to monitor this closely as we have seen some disconnects. Usually when the dollar is strong, equities are weak. when usually the dollar strong. Gold is also weak, but gold continues to make a new all-time high today, trending really nicely above the 8 and 21 EMAs here. Same with gold miners. New 52-week highs as well. Just a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 days up in a row, trending above the 8 EMA. Just beautiful action there. Silver also making new 52-week highs. Super powerful 3-day breakout. This is exactly what you want to see on a breakout. Huge volume, 1-2 punch. What that means is the day before it was lower than average volume, and on the day of breakout, huge volume. And then it's had 2 days of follow through with above average volume as well. That's exactly what you want to see in a breakout. Bitcoin, IBIT, we own this. Retested the 38 level, found support. Let's go on the actual Bitcoin chart. The 66,500 level continues to be the level of interest for me. And that is also where we found support today, 66,535. And this is perfect action so far as we continue building this base. Found resistance around the 70,000 level. And this could be the handle that takes us up into new highs. Bonds, with yields heading higher, bonds are heading lower in a downtrend below the 8 and 21. TLT, same thing. This is below the 200-day as well. And of course, 30-year yield continues to rip higher, same with the 10-year. And so what this means to me and to us is that the markets are starting to forecast or at least expect higher growth expectations and inflation in the future. Some people believe that Trump's economic policies and tariffs could be causing more inflation. But regardless of who wins the presidency, there's a huge deficit that we're dealing with. And perhaps many believe, or bonds believe, that the Fed 50 basis point rate cut into a rip-roaring market and stable economy may have been the wrong move. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Now, the tail of the tape, just a few things to note. We're, of course, still in the bull case. News, we have VRT earnings tomorrow morning, and then Tesla after the bell. Today's keys was that S&P 500 range support 5810 to 5820, which we supported there perfectly. QQQ's breakout support 490 area, and then watching long-term rates. 8 days above the 11 days above the 8 EMA, 30 days above the 21 EMA. And this is 30 days is actually a decent time spent above the 21 EMA, but we'll continue riding the trend. So another significant thing to note is that the S&P ATR is down below 0.87%, and that's exactly what we want to see. Lower volatility provides smoother trending environments. Strong sectors today, bond yields were up. They were pretty much flat. The 10-year was up, but the other ones were slightly down. But all the bond prices were down today. Gold, silver, metals were strong today. Staples, energy, real estate, as well as the dollar. And then aerospace and defense and home builders and industrials were weak today. We trimmed some VRT with earnings tomorrow. We profited on that new ad, but we just had to take it off. We sold small caps as well. And that brought our beta down from 1.82 to 1.66. And like I said before, bottom line is that we're range bound, weak open and strong close, and metals were strong today. So now some charts of interest from me, and then we'll get into the 21/21 list to review the top 5 movers, top movers, and then top decliners. So the first one, I want to go over 5 megacaps. And the reason being is they're all setting up in big bases. We're showing strength, and that's what's held up the markets today. Before I do that, actually, I want to show you my Mag 7 composite on trading view. It's composed of Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, Google, and Tesla. And this is setting up a perfect cup with handle. We broke above yesterday's highs, and this is looking like we want to take out this 2,000 level soon. And this could lead to a huge move in the markets as they represent heavy weightings in S&P and the NASDAQ. So the first name is NVIDIA, which we own. New all-time highs yesterday. Nice, actually, not an inside day. We actually made a high today, another all-time high, but very tight day in all-time highs, which means there's no sellers. Of course, everyone is positive on their positions. RS line also looking for a new high as well. Apple, putting in its last contraction, you can see this perfect, beautiful VCP, 4 contractions. Above 237 is a new all-time high. This RS line is looking to break out as well, and that will really boost the markets, the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ as well. Talk about the 3 trillion club, Microsoft. Really nice move, back above all moving averages. This is like a power of 4 setup with the 8, 21, 50, and 200 all right here on on a pocket pivot as well. Earnings in 8 days, but this looks extremely constructive for a move back to the tops of the base. I mean, if Microsoft, which is a $3.2 trillion company, Apple 3.6 trillion, and Nvidia 3.5, if they're moving well, they're strong, S&P 500, NASDAQ aren't really going anywhere. To add more icing to the cake, Amazon, a $2 trillion company, pokes its head out of this really beautiful VCP base. You don't know if Jeff Bezos is done selling, but he was sitting on the offer before, which led to some pressure in Amazon as well as the earnings report. But Amazon's looking great as well. And finally, Meta, little wedge pop back above the 821 EMA, found support at the 21. This looks strong as well. And this is also a $1.5 trillion company. And with five of the 7 Mag 7 acting well, it's really hard to bet against the indexes. We can quickly go over Tesla too. That's living below the 821.50 earnings tomorrow. And then Google itself is actually starting to form some really tight action. The 821.50 and 200 are almost lying on top of each other. So this could lead to some volatility expansion to the upside as well, just like Microsoft. Of course, one of the liquid leaders in the market, MSTR broke above 200. Yesterday followed through. Today, we put in tight inside day. Volumes contracting, which is exactly what we want to see. Perhaps there is another shakeout back to 200 and continue building a flag, and that could provide another add-on as a high type flag or a high handle above the base. A-Lab today, we also own this above yesterday's highs. It's looking to come through this flag. Go on the 60-minute, can say that we did break the flag. I do want to see us break this horizontal level as well, but this is great action with volume coming into the close, breaking that little pivot right there. And then finally, we're still watching Bitcoin, which I'm really bullish about. It seems like it's widely anticipated on Twitter, but the COT data still show that large speculators are short, which that's favorable for us. We want to see this get back above 40, Bitcoin get back above 70,000. So finally, let's go over the 21 over 21 list. Our major up move, which we own as well. CART made a new all-time high today. Backed off so far off the 45 whole number level and October 9th highs, but still a good close on volume. We are finally finding support today's lows at the highs of the IPO day. And so that is good. This looks like new highs are coming shortly. A-Lab, I covered that. Nice move out of this, starting to poke its head out of this flag. It's good action. Axon, just a beautiful trend after this earnings report. This is textbook post-earnings drift action. Get this memorized in your heads. Oracle, another one we owned, just continues to ride the 8, and it's great action so far. Sprouts Farmers Market, another one that just rides the 8 and 21 up. Just insane linearity. This is ideally the stock, or this is the ideal action that we want in all our stocks. Clearly respects moving averages on the daily and weekly. Look at this. Trended above the 10-week moving average since literally the end of 2023. So it's almost been a year trending above the 10-week moving average. Palantir continues to act well, but so far consolidating right below previous all-time highs. This could use a few weeks to digest this huge move it's had, but it looks really good. On the downside, SMR nuclear energy pulled back to the top of its previous highs. This continues to be good action, normal action. We just have to see this flag continue to develop out. Just still needs some more time sideways. IoT sold off, broke the 8 and 21. So that's a wedge drop. 50 looks like it's next. We'll see if it can find support at this 45.31 level on volume as well. So not a good sign for IoT. CEG, back below the 8, but it's just in the digestion area. And say there's a flag building here, higher lows like that. So we might just need to bounce around this area before making a move higher. Coherent back to the 21 EMA. That's normal after a strong move up and after breaking the 8 2 days ago. We do want to see that 21 hold and see if we can continue higher and see some tennis ball action. GWRE continues to trend nicely above the 8 after this gap, but we did close below 8 EMA today, so we'll see if the 21 EMA can help find some support for us in this name. So FFIV barely down, nothing too much to talk about. IBIT was down 0.4%, found support at the EMA in the 38 level, and go to Shark Ninja, just building a mini base below 111, looking for new all-time highs earnings in 9 days. So that's going to wrap it. Let me pull this up. That's going to wrap it. As always, we would love to hear from you. My email is ted@revereasset.com. My Twitter is Ted H. Zhang. Our phone is 855-REAL-WEALTH. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is Revere Asset Management, and you can subscribe to our newsletter and receive our daily market updates, podcasts, and weekend videos. And finally, our YouTube channel is Revere Asset, which we post all our videos on. We named our flagship portfolio GROTECTION, and that comes with the dual mandate that we want to grow assets in uptrends and protect assets in downtrends. And right now, with 4 green up arrows, we are in the grow mode. And if you're interested in becoming a client, please reach out. And with that said, I'll wrap it up for today. It is Tuesday, October 22nd. This is Ted Zhang with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week.